Hey guys, this is Pam Lawhorn, and I've got. Well, I'm really super excited today. Today we have another midday millionaire mastermind, and I'm excited because I've got the lovely and beautiful. I've got the lovely and beautiful. She's a little nervous, and I want you guys to make her feel very, 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 very welcome. I've got the lovely and beautiful Courtney Luper with me today, and I'm excited to have her because I've had the chance to sit here and chat with her. When I say she's just like the most down the earth person, she really, really is. Just good, 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 good people. And we're going to talk today because a lot of times I talk to people all the time and they always ask me like how I got started, and I've got like really humble beginnings, and Courtney's one of those people who have just really built her business from scratch. And so I want to introduce her, have her tell a little bit about her story because I think it's beyond inspirational. She got started in this business with skinny body care, really just looking to lose weight initially. She started out at over 300 pounds, just looking to lose weight and hoping to make enough money where she could pay for her auto shipment. And this girl went on and like a year, a little over a year later, made over 350,000. I mean, that's crazy. So started out just struggling, trying to make enough money to pay her auto shipment, was about to get evicted from her place, made like 50 bucks, I think her first week, and went on to make over $350,000. This girl is killing it in the business, and the reason why I think her story is so inspirational is because she's like me, everyday people, and people always think, oh, you're not everyday people, and I go, yeah, I grew up on welfare, didn't have anything, had a kid at 16. This is my type of girl, and I want her to tell her story because I want for you guys to see that it's possible for anyone to do it. So she's out here making 6 figures a year, killing it, inspiring people all over the world to do the same thing, and that's why it's so important for you guys to be able to mastermind with her because she's got a big team, big organization, and these midday mastermind series give you guys an opportunity to be able to get up and close and personal with people like her, people like Tim Miller, because it's not every day that you get a chance to be able to speak one-on-one with her. But during our Midday Mastermind series, you get an opportunity to be able to hear exactly how she did it, how she was able to go from being broke, poor, overweight, to being one of the top income earners within skinny body care so that you can do the same thing. So I'm introducing this wonderful woman who given us her time today, Courtney. Thank you.
Hello. How are you?
Thank you so much for being here. And I'm just going to just kind of run through some questions. First and foremost, thank you for taking the time to be on here today. I'm so thrilled to have you, and I'm glad we had a chance to talk because I sent Tim a message and said, oh my God, Tim, I love her because you're just so laid back, because a lot of times when people start making 6 figures and the high 6 figures like you're making, they're like prima donnas, flipping their hair all over the place and be like, speak with my assistant. And you're like, oh, I can send me the stuff. And then you're like, oh, this is great. Thank you so much. And you're just so genuine. So that's the first thing I want to say for anyone who doesn't know Courtney up close. And she is just like so real. So that's the first thing I want to say about you is like, I can't wait to meet you in person because you're just like the real deal, girl.
Thank you. That really means a lot. I'm really just even honored that anybody would want to see an interview with me in it.
Are you serious? You've accomplished so much. How long have you been, first of all, how long have you been in skinny body care?
I started March the 2nd of last year, so I'm not good at math. Is that 16 months?
Wow. Okay. So, crazy. So, 16 months.
Yes.
Okay. So, let me back up. Tell me a little bit about your family.
I have 2 boys. They are 19 and 20. They're my world. Everybody on Facebook knows. I mean, I talk about them every day. They both are working. They are, my oldest son just finished his first year in college, and my youngest is about to start his first year, and I couldn't be more proud of them. I have amazing parents who, David and Bonnie, they did a great job raising me with They were extremely strict. And I didn't understand it when I was younger, but I'm so grateful. I couldn't have prayed for better parents. They were just very loving and strong. My mother is literally the most positive and most inspiring person I know, and that's where I feel like I get a lot of my, I guess, strongness from, but I don't know. I have a brother and a sister. My brother is 2 years younger than me. And then I have a little sister. She's 6 years younger than me. My sister is actually in the business too. So I have a papa that I talk about on Facebook all the time that all y'all know about. And he is the man of my life. There is nobody greater than my papa. So he's 86 and acts like he's 26.
I think I saw a picture of you and your pawpaw on your Facebook page. So, Courtney, I think one of the things that's probably most amazing is that you've been in this business, you said, for 16 months. And I have to say this. I've been doing online marketing for about 8 years. I have about 2,500 followers. And you have, I think, 101,000 followers. Is that about right?
That's crazy. I mean, I was like, I never expected all of that. I was surprised when I got my first follower, and to look up one day and see all these people, it was just like, is this real? I mean, a lot of people know I've had financial success in the industry, but to be able to just inspire one person, I could die tomorrow and I would be the happiest girl in the world, because I feel like I'm living my purpose. I'm accomplishing what I want in life, is just to inspire other people. I love it.
And I think because of who you are, and that's what I think the purpose of these Midday Mastermind sessions is, for people to see what you're doing right now. Because of who you are, that's why you have 101,000 followers, because you're so genuine. And that's why I was saying before we got on the Hangout, just be yourself. And this is why you have so many followers, because of who you are. You're just yourself. I think it's just really amazing. You have such an amazing story. I want you to talk a little bit about how you got started. I know that I read about you, and then we talked a little bit about it. But you started out just wanting to lose weight. I'd like, if you don't mind, to just kind of start there. I read that you were over 300 pounds, which I can't even imagine. I've seen all the pictures, and I'm like, really? So tell me a little bit about that.
You mean about being 308 pounds, or
you just got started? So you just wanted to, you just got started. You were 300 pounds. You were just tired of being overweight, so you wanted to lose weight, and that's how you got started, right?
Yeah. I actually was following. I've always, ever since I've had Facebook, I've always been obsessed with following people that inspired me. I followed all the Biggest Loser people, just anybody that was losing weight or doing something good for their life. I knew one day, I'd do something, but I found a girl on Facebook named Heather Johnson, and she had lost a lot of weight with Atkins. So I started following her and, getting a little advice, because I liked following a low-carb diet. And she started posting one day about skinny fiber, and I messaged her about it. I don't know why, because I normally don't ever fall for anything online. Most of the things you see online, you're like, that's a scam, it's not real. You see all these ads online all the time, and I don't know, there was just something that was just seemed genuine about it when I spoke with her, and she said it had a money-back guarantee, so I decided to try it. I didn't have the money. Really didn't have the money to do it. But she actually mentioned to me, because I was struggling financially, why don't I just become a distributor? So of course in my head I'm like, who in their right mind would even think about buying a weight loss product from a 5-foot-tall, over 300-pound girl? Because I know I wouldn't. There's no way. If Heather was 300 pounds, I wouldn't have even looked at that product. she's like, you're behind a computer screen, you know, you can just be yourself, and, you know, what if you just sold a couple bottles a month and you could pay for your auto ship? So that kind of made sense, you know. Maybe, I mean, my background is sales, although I'd never done anything like this before, so I decided, why not? You know, it was just an extra $10, so, you know, just put it out there. So I did. Did not ever expect it to come to all of this. I decided, whatever I do in life, I never like to be average. You know, I want to do my best in everything. My mom always taught me, just be proud of what you do and just do your best. I mean, even if you don't succeed, at least give it all you got. So I decided to do that, and I worked the business, and I did all the training that this amazing company provides, and sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
And the first few weeks, I made, you know, $50 to $100 extra a week, which I was struggling pretty bad. So that extra money really helped. I had actually was in the process of getting my health insurance license, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an insurance agent. And but while I was waiting and taking my tests and everything, I was doing this on the side and working for an agent. And I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
You're fine. You're fine. Just say what's from your heart. You're fine.
Anyways, I was struggling financially a lot, meaning my son was actually, he was a senior in high school at the time, and he was donating plasma so that he'd have gas and extra running around money, you know, for school. And I was looking at facing my fourth eviction. You know, I've been a single parent for a long time, and it was almost like evictions were just part of me. Like, that was what I've faced for years, and, you know, we'll get through it. So I, you know, told my son, you know, we're probably going to end up having to move again. And there's nothing more worse than that, because, you know, your kid, and especially, they're almost grown, so, you know, you want them to be proud of you, and you want to set a good example. So I always tried that, and I never really let him see me cry. I always kept my smile on my face. But, you know, he just hugged me when I told him, and he said, we'll be all right. And in my heart, I knew, I mean, Skinny Fiber was working for me, and I knew if I could just get enough people out there to know about the product, that I could be successful with this. I was losing weight, and I've done everything, and nothing's ever worked for me. I mean, I have gone from, you know, I was at a point at over 300 pounds where my sleep apnea was so bad that I would wake up sometimes gasping for air, like I couldn't breathe. And I would call my best friend, and she would cry with me, you know. It was just like, she's like, you're okay, you know. I would fall asleep just sitting in a drive-thru somewhere. You know, I wasn't really living, and I just felt so helpless. So, I mean, to find this product and know the change that it was making in me, I just knew if I could just tell enough people about it. You know, the money didn't matter. I mean, yeah, I'd like to be able to maybe get out of debt. The money didn't really matter to me. I just wanted people to not feel so helpless, because I knew how it felt. So I told my son that, you know, I'm going to keep doing Skinny Fiber. I had just actually ended up, ended up taking my insurance test and passing it, so I was about to go into the insurance industry. And, but again, as I said, I was facing eviction. So I told my son that if I can just give the landlord enough money that, maybe he will hold off on evicting me. Maybe he'll give me a little bit more time and we can see what happens. And as long as I had, my internet and stuff, I'd be all right. So I ended up putting an ad on Craigslist. And I sold my couch and my kitchen table, and I pawned my televisions. My cable was off anyway, so it's not like we were watching it. And I will tell you, I can still picture the people walking out with my kitchen table. The couch is one thing, but your kitchen table where you sit and you have family dinners and things. It was just like, and they carried that off. And after they left, and my son left, I got on my knees in the corner of my room, and I said a prayer. And I prayed a million prayers. There's no secret that I have a religious background. I owe everything in my life to that. But I got on my knees and I said a prayer and I just asked God to guide me. I just told him I'm stubborn. I'm very, very lost and I don't know what direction to go. If it's skinny fiber, if it's something else, I just need a sign to let me know I'm doing the right thing and I'm going the right direction. I've just let go of all my furniture. I'm facing eviction, but I'm going to put all my worries right here and be done with it. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. And I got up from that prayer, and I literally was like, I guess I've never felt so just right. Just like I realized I could have to move in with my parents, or I might end up losing the rest of the things I had, but I knew without a doubt that I was going to be okay, whether it's skinny fiber or something else. So I didn't think about it anymore. I just went about my day, went back to working on skinny fiber, and 2 days later, my other son came over, and he wanted me to take him to get a tux for the prom. He had a job, and he, had his own money because he knew Mom couldn't pay for it. But he's like, Mom, let's go get a tux. So I'm like, give me a few minutes. Let me put a few more things on Facebook, and we will go do that. So I did that. It was Sunday afternoon, going to spend with my kid. And I left my house. It wasn't a couple hours later, my mom called me. She's like, you got to get home right now. I'm like, no, I'm with my son. We're getting tux. She's like, no, you got to get home right now. There's something crazy happening on Facebook. And I came home, and it was insane. It was beyond my wildest dreams. I mean, 2 days ago, I'm sitting here praying for just a sign, and then all of a sudden, my Facebook exploded. I mean, I had literally thousands of people requesting to be my friend, and thousands of people asking to join my weight loss support group. And I'm like, where did they come from? I mean, it was from a post that I did that a couple people shared, and it was crazy. Like, everybody wanted to know about skinny fiber. And that very next week, that $100 paycheck went to $1,300 and then went to $6,000. And I was like, I know God answers prayers, but this is crazy, I guess that's a sign. I guess that's a sign. But it was just like nothing in my life had ever been so bright and so perfect. And again, I mean, the money is amazing. I'm so blessed and grateful for it. But there is nothing in life like waking up every day and feeling like you have a purpose. I mean, it's just, I never, and you say, I know you told me earlier that I'm not a diva or whatever you want to say, but I think sometimes I don't really even believe that I've made that kind of money. I mean, it's just, I don't really ever truly focus on that. And it's just, I don't know, it's just amazing. And I'm just so blessed. And I just believed in myself and just worked hard. I do work a lot of hours, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I don't know, that's my story.
I've been sitting here like the whole time going, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, because I'm such a crybaby. And don't cry. I always do the ugly snot cry. I read your story. I've heard your story. I've seen your videos, and every time and then hearing you say it right here is like giving me chills, because I believe that God answers prayers right when it's time, and sometimes our time is not the right time, and His time, it is the time. And resonates with me. It makes sense to me. It's told a different way. So I totally understand what you're saying, and thank you for. I love hearing. I can story over and over again. Go ahead.
I have so many people in the industry that. Huh? Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I have so many people in the industry that tell me, you know, don't bring God or religion into it. That's not me. You know, I'm never going to hide behind that. If I lose people because I share a part of my testimony, then, you know, it's just, I will never stop sharing that, because I truly believe in the power of prayer. Because even in my hardest times, you know, when I struggled and, you know, I didn't know how I was going to make it or survive and get through another day, I mean, I did, and I'm stronger, and I truly believe that all my hard times and struggles were there for a reason, so that I could be strong enough to help other people. You know, I didn't understand it then. I was like, why, God? But I truly understand it now, and I'm so grateful for every hard time that I went through.
Yeah, and you know what, Courtney, I always tell people, I said, you can't thank God in the good times and not thank Him in the bad. That's not how it works. So you may not understand it and you may not like it, but He's always there. So, you know, when I used to have things, I didn't say, you know, oh God, why are you blessing me with all this wonderful stuff? So you know, it doesn't work that way. So you have to always praise Him and thank Him. So that's my belief, and I agree with you 100%. I'm good with who I am. I'm good with my religion. I'm good with who I serve. And so if someone doesn't like that, then I'm not the person for them. So you have to be 100% transparent with who you are, and the people who are going to be attracted to that are going to be attracted to it, and they're going to be okay with what you do and who you are. And if, you know, if they're not, then that's you're not the person for them. So I agree with you. If they're devil worshipers or whoever the heck they are, they don't want to work with me anyway, because I'm not going to hide who I serve and what I do. Not for money.
I agree.
So, I'm glad me and you are good with that. No. So now my big question, is this the first company you've been with? Because I'm just, you know, I haven't been in the industry a long time either, so that's really interesting. I've only been in this whole business for 18 months. So is this the first business you've been with, or is this... Tell me kind of what your history is.
I've done sales pretty much my entire life. Mm-hmm. I have always done sales. I can remember being a kid, and my parents bought these bumper stickers supporting, you know, the war, you know, and I remember them having to sell them to businesses. I mean, since I was little, but my parents have always been entrepreneurs and always tried to put that in me, and I always told them, I'm never going to work for myself. I'm going to go work for somebody. I just wanted because I saw them. They were always up and down. I mean, it seemed like it was always feast or famine, you know, and I would rather just have a for sure deal. Even if I was barely getting by, I wanted a for sure deal. But, you know, the for sure thing didn't get me to very many good places. And I've done a lot of sales job, but never network marketing. this is my first network marketing job I've ever done. That my parents actually did beg me several times to get into a couple of network jobs with them, and I wouldn't. I was like, no way. There would be never, ever, ever a time I would ever do that. I'm sorry. So when I came to them with this, they were shocked. But actually, my dad kind of laughed at me when I told him about it. He was like, I told him I was going to go to this event. I had only been in the business like 10 days or so, and I was like, I'm going to go to this event in Dallas and meet all these people that are in the company. And he laughed at me. He was like, why are you doing that? Why is she taking off? I said, Mom, why is she taking off work early to go do this? And I'm glad I did, because that event changed my life. And my parents ended up joining too. And my mom actually told my dad, the only reason I'm going to join is I want to support Courtney. It has nothing to do with even us making money in it, but if this product can help Courtney lose the weight, then I'm going to do it, and I'm going to support her, you know. And she signed up, and my parents have done extremely well with it too, and it's financially and physically changed their life. My mom's lost over 65 pounds.
Wow.
You know, they made 6 figures this last year, and that was from my dad having a stroke 5 years ago and not being able to work, and all the finances being on my mom, you know. So I'm more happy of their success than my own.
Wow.
I'm 39. I would have figured something out in life. You know, I could have, but my parents are a little older, and nothing makes you happier than seeing, you know, your parents' success. So
now that part gets me, because I agree with you. I'm in my 40s, but I agree with you. When you're able to help someone else, it like does something to your heart. It's like, okay, you can help other people. It makes you feel so much better about yourself. I don't know what it does, like internally to you, but it makes you feel so much better. Let me ask you this, and I'm just like really shocked. This is like your first company. That's like blowing me away. I had to go like through a few companies before I found Skinny Body Care, so that's really blowing me away. And I was about to ask you how Skinny Body has changed your life, but I think you just told me that. How did you end up building your team? Did you go out and like find people, or did you just like all do this on Facebook? Did you just like make a few posts and then all of a sudden it went viral?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I've never tried to approach people outside of Facebook. I take that back. I did actually try to approach one girl. She was a friend of mine, and she pretty much told me no. And as a matter of fact, when I started posting things on Facebook, she deleted me.
Really?
Yeah, and she actually friended me back a little bit later, or tried to, but I couldn't accept any more friends. But I don't know. I didn't really try to go out and find distributors. I just put my story on Facebook and shared my story and shared my journey as I was losing the weight, shared a few other stories in with it, and people started buying. And what would happen is once they started using the product and they would start losing weight, all their friends would be like, where did you get that from, or how do I buy some? So then they would come back in and sign up as distributors. Every now and then I'll promote something about getting new distributors, but I usually don't like going about it that way. I want them to have a chance to try it, because I know once they just try it, they'll want to promote it, because it's life-changing.
So that's the question that I want to really focus on, because you have lost a lot of weight. The majority of what you did to build your team then would be focusing on the fact that you lost a lot of weight, and then you just shared your results. Is that pretty much what you did?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then that's crazy. So you're a product of the product, yes, right? And then you just went really crazy with saying, hey, look at me, this stuff works. Mm-hmm. And you shared the product, and then they loved it like you did, and then they wanted to become a rep like you did.
Yes.
That's a crazy concept.
Yeah, no secret. Not really a secret. I just take the product and share my story. You know, it's not really hard.
That's the same thing I'm kind of telling people, like, let's see, I'm losing weight, I'm sharing it and telling people that the product works. Who'd have thunk? Okay. So let me ask you, what advice would you give to someone who's just getting started? What would be like your best advice? Because you're the success story that people say never happened. So you're the person who gets into a business the first time, who was broke and struggling. You're the person, you're the underdog. You're someone who doesn't exist. So people say, oh, this doesn't work. It never happens. You can't go and don't have any money. You don't have a marketing budget. You can't go and make 6 figures a year. You're everything. You're the stigma that doesn't exist. So you know that you don't exist, Courtney, so you're not here. You're not here. The product doesn't work. You can't really lose weight. So you're everything that people say really doesn't happen, you know, right? So now that you don't exist and you can't really make 6 figures and you can't really get to close to $500,000 like you're about to do, so what would you tell someone who says that you really don't exist and that your lifestyle isn't real and that you really can't help thousands of people and that you really can't build a real business and that you really can't get over 100,000 followers, even though I've been trying to do that for years and it really didn't happen? What would you tell someone who wants to get in your position? What would be your best advice?
Well, first of all, take the product. There are so many people I talk to that aren't even taking it. I'm like, I don't understand. I mean, you have to take it. You know, I mean, how are you going to know and how are you going to promote a product that you don't even take? I mean, that's the number one thing, and I'm just blown away by the people that don't take it, that are promoting it. That's number one. And number two, I don't know if this is really something you can teach, but you have to be passionate about it. You have to believe in it. You have to want this as much as you want to breathe. And my advice would be to quit focusing on the money. Quit wondering how this is paid or how this is paid or where do I fall in the matrix or this or that. I mean, from all my distributors that I have, the ones that are having the most success have never even asked about that. Never even asked about how they get paid or the money, and they're doing great. Honestly, I don't understand how they get paid. You know, if you just focus on helping people and helping other people, and you decide that you are going to commit time to working this business. And I don't mean getting online half an hour a day and working, because you couldn't do that. That's what's great. This company gives you the freedom to do that. But if you get online half an hour a day and work, those are the results you're going to get. I spend more time than the majority of people. I mean, there are days I'm online 16 plus hours a day. But it's not like work to me. I enjoy it. I love it. I mean, when I'm not in front of the computer, I feel like I'm missing something, or who needs me? Who can I be helping? You know, I feel bad about it, but you get out of this what you put in. So you need to surround yourself by positive people, by positive things. Go get some, I went to the bookstore the other day and bought, it was a really basic, I think it was How to Win Friends and Influence People. It was like the audio CD. You know, surround yourself with all this positive stuff. If you've got all this positive stuff going in your head and you're working the business like you're supposed to, if you truly want success, you can have it. But it's just how bad do you really want it? What are you going to give up? Will it be turning off that TV, you know, for a couple hours a night and spending more time on your business? Isn't that worth the freedom of not having to, you know, worry about, you know, how a bill is going to get paid? Or, you know, maybe worth the freedom of being able to take your family on that dream vacation? You know, to me, that's worth it. The TV is always going to be there, but, you know, that quality time you're going to be able to spend with your family because you have your own business and you are in control and you are designing your life and not letting someone else. What's better than that? So I don't know. That's my advice.
I agree with you, Courtney. I put a lot of time into personal development, so I agree 1,000%. That's like huge. And when you say designing your life, here's something that I'm always curious with people. I say that money, it doesn't buy everything. It doesn't buy happiness, but it sure does make the ride a lot nicer. So, tell me, how has like things changed for you? I know that we were talking a little bit, and from reading your story, I know that you were mentioning that you were like on the brink of like being evicted, and that you sold all of your furniture. And so, how has all of that changed things for you as far as your living situation and as far as life for you now that you're no longer living from check to check and you're not financially strapped? How has that changed things for you as far as how you live and how you're able to live?
Well, first of all, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I'm 39 years old, and of course I've lived 39 years, but I've never really lived. I like the last 20 years, raising my kids, it was just trying to make it one more week. It was just trying to get one more bill paid. I wasn't living. I mean, to be able to pay my bills now and to have a life, I'm almost lost sometimes. I'm like, I'm just like, I'm not stressing out about paying the bills. That's the best way I could say it, is just like, I can live my life finally. I don't have a boss over me telling me, I'm late, he's going to write me up. I have, my own life, and that I can choose how I want to live it, and I can make my own decisions, and better, I can even guide all these people that, my distributors, and help them to do the same. And I'm just so blessed, because I never in a million years, when I was going through some of the hard times, I don't think I've ever would have even been able to dream that my life would turn out like this. For the last 20 years, I've worked all these crazy jobs, and I was always trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life. I didn't know. I didn't go to college. I quit school my senior year, and I just felt so lost and so unaccomplished. I mean, graduating high school, it would have been great. I think more just because I wanted my parents to be proud of me. But this year, actually, the beginning of the year, Skinny Body Care was giving out awards, and I was given an award for inspiration. It was like 5 people in the company got this award, and it was a big eagle. And I will tell you, when I walked on that stage and got that award, there was not a moment in my life I was more proud. I felt like I had finally gotten my diploma. I felt like I'd finally done something in life that I felt just so proud of. And my mom was there to see it, and that just really, really meant a lot, to be able to share that with her. And I don't know, I'm just grateful.
Let me ask you a question. I can totally relate to that whole part of the not living. For years, I ran a company, but I worked all the time, and I never lived. I worked but never lived because I didn't have the time. I find myself, maybe you can relate to this, I find myself now that I have the time having to say, what do I want to do with my life? It's like I have free time, and I always say money provides options and opportunities. Finding, okay, well, what do I want to do? I find myself wanting to do more fun things that I never wanted to do before, and saying, let's do this or let's do that. And I made, like, I call, people call the I can't think of the list before they die. What is it called? I can't think of that list, but I say, bucket list, and I go, no, I call mine my living list. So I put all these things on the list saying, I wanted to go do this, like I want to learn hip-hop dancing because I don't have like any rhythm.
Me neither.
Oh, okay, well maybe we can do it together, girl, because I have zero rhythm.
Me too.
Then we could bump into each other and nobody would notice. So I have all these different things. Like Tim was talking about going tandem jumping. I was like, no, I'm not jumping out of plane. But other stuff, like, I want to learn how to do. Like, I want to go skiing and stuff like that because I realize, there's a lot of things like in my 40 plus years that I've never done. So it's really interesting that you say that because you realize, like, okay, I never lived because I was so focused on making the money to pay the bills that you never live. So it's just very, very interesting that you say that because when you start talking to more and more people, a lot of people live their lives that way. And you go, that's not really living, it's existing. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. And I never really understood it until now when I'm able to actually live. And
have freedom.
Oh, my gosh. I never understood that. And now it's just, it's just insane. It's crazy. There is not a greater feeling, honestly.
So I'm curious, like, when you were able to, like, with your living situations, did you move out of the area? Like, I know you mentioned that you were being evicted. Did you go back into that area, or what did you decide to do? Because I'm always, like, I lost my home when I lost my business, and I completely moved away from that area. So I'm always curious to hear other people's situation, like when they lose their house or their place to stay. I completely moved away from that area because I was like so embarrassed at that time. Did you stay in that area, or kind of what happened when you were?
I grew up in the area, so it's really my home. I mean, I know so many people. I grew up in a really small town, but I've just stayed in the area. And actually, I didn't mention that house that I was about to get evicted out of. I actually bought.
No way.
Yeah, I paid cash for it.
Get out of town. Congratulations.
I had the greatest landlord ever, and I felt so bad for the guy because he was an older man, and he would tell me, I don't want to kick you out, and I really feel bad if you can give me even a little something. And that's why I sold my furniture. I was just hoping to scrape by a little bit longer before I had to find a new place to live, Because there's nothing worse than having all your friends come over to help you move, and literally you're throwing everything into trash bags. I mean, that was my way of moving. That's, it's not something I'm proud of, but it's what I lived through,
Oh, I am like, I'm so rooting for you. I'm your biggest cheerleader now, Courtney. How cool.
Yeah, I actually ended up, after I bought the house, I'm renting it out now to my aunt. So,
wow.
Crazy. I went from, having a landlord to being a landlord and actually being able to pay cash. And that's my first house I've ever bought in my entire life. So
wait, okay, so back up. You're renting it to your aunt, which means that you went and got another house.
I have another house, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to stay there. It was something where maybe an option where I'm looking at. Okay. It's weird. My kids are both graduated and gone now. They both have their own apartments.
Right.
And I don't really know. It's like I have all this freedom to go do what I want and live where I want because, I mean, I can virtually work anywhere in the whole world. And I'm not saying I'm lost, but I'm just...
No, you're not lost. You just proved the point. Money provides options and opportunities.
Exactly.
You have a virtual business. I keep saying this to people that when we have a business where we can work our business anywhere we have a laptop and internet connection. Mm-hmm. Girl, you rock. You just proved my whole point to people. I say this all the time. As long as you have an internet and a laptop, you can be anywhere in the world running your business, and a cell phone.
And I do. I actually just spent a month in Vegas with my friends up there, and I have plans to do some more traveling this summer. So, I mean, I love that freedom. To me, I mean, I love a big house, but I think the experiences and the places and people that you can see and meet, and I would be happier spending all my money on travel than I would in a house.
God, you're my long lost sister.
I I really enjoy traveling.
Traveling. That's like my dream life right now. We just downsized to a smaller place so that we can travel. I just bought like this really cool. Okay, we'll talk after the air. Yeah, but that's like my dream life right now. I just bought like this really cool book bag that can go through the airport, so I can have my laptop and all my junk, so that I can have my virtual office. Kid you not. I'll send you the link, girl. So yeah, that's exactly what life is all about, folks. It's not about having, money. It's about having opportunities. It's about having options, and it's about being able to live life on your own terms. And she just like summed it up without me even having to poke her through the internet. So, Courtney, I love talking to you. This was like so cool. And guys, as you see, having your own business, it can be done on your own terms. And reason I love Courtney's story is because she proves people wrong. So she proves people wrong who says that you have to be in the industry for 15 years. You have to do it the way everyone else says that you have to do it. She's gone against everything that everyone says you have to do, and she's like kicked the industry's behind. I love her story. This girl rocks. Like I said, you're a rock star, girl. And I'm so glad to get a chance to know you. So glad to be in your company, and I mean, this is just like the coolest story. It really, really is, and you're such an inspiration. I see why I'm going to come on your page now and stalk you and take notes so I can get 101,000 followers too. You have the most amazing story, and thank you so much. And last thing, any advice that you want to just throw out there to anyone who's thinking about getting started? If you have not started and you're watching this video on our team page, first of all, get started now. As you can see, you don't have to have a ton of experience. You don't have to have a big social media following. You can be average person. You could be getting put out on the street. You could be overweight. It doesn't matter. Whatever excuses you've made up in your head is in your head. As you can see, this beautiful young lady decided, you know what, I'm tired of my life being this way. I'm going to change it. She did something about it, and a little over a year later, look at where she at. She's designing her life on her terms. She's living on her terms, and she's kicking butt and taking names. You guys could be doing the same too, but you can't until you click the button below and you join our family and you get started with us today. So, Courtney, last words, girl. What else can you say after all you said? You've told us everything. You've inspired us so much. But what would you tell someone who's thinking about getting started, who's thinking about changing their life and changing their destiny? What would you tell them?
First of all, if you're thinking about joining the company, I would definitely do it, because something I really didn't mention in the interview was this is like a family. I mean, when I was in the company, just not even 2 weeks, and I went to the first event in Dallas, Texas, I didn't know anybody. But the open arms people had when I walked in there, I literally felt like I was walking into a family reunion. I had never felt, and I had never done this industry before, so I even asked people, I'm like, is it like this for all these network marketing businesses? Is this how everyone is? Because I've never done it, so I don't know. Maybe they're all like this. Maybe that's how they pull you in. I didn't know. And for everybody just to be just so full of love, and they truly care about you, and they want to see you successful, even if you're not on their team. It's just, I've never in my life ever experienced anything like that, and that's the best part. I mean, just that alone is worth being a part of it, because you're going to be a part of something, and it's something huge. Yeah.
Go ahead. You're fine. Keep talking.
I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. No.
And let me ask this question. What would be the advice you would give them on their first week? What should they do? If they were just signing up, what would be the first thing that you would tell them to do?
Do all the training the company provides. This company provides more training than I've ever seen before. I mean, it is the best training. And first thing, do that. Second, follow the leaders in the company. I'm not just talking about myself. There are so many amazing leaders in the company. Follow them and do what they do. I mean, there are so many great mentors that, you can get, help and advice from, and just watching them and what they do. And probably my best advice is to just be real, be yourself. There are so many people's pages, especially on Facebook, I look at, and it looks like an infomercial. And, we see all that on TV or on the billboards, and people weren't real. And, I'm probably more real than most people want to get, because I do share quite a bit. But there are so many people out there that are just hiding behind that computer, and they're just putting out there what they think people want to see. But honestly, people want to see you. And, if you can just show yourself and be real and genuine with people, then your business is going to explode. You're going to build up trust with people, and they're going to buy from you no matter what you're selling, because they love you. So that's my best advice, is just be yourself.
I think it's great advice, and obviously it's worked really, 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 really well for you. So thank you again, Courtney. This has been, this has been a lot of fun, and it's been an eye-opener for me, and I just really appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate you sharing yourself with all of us. And I know it's going to change somebody's life. It's touched me, and it's going to touch a lot of people. And someone is going to get started today. Someone who's already in business is going to stay in business because of the story that you're sharing today, and it's just going to help so many people, not just today, but along the way. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And guys, thank you so much for being here with us. We'll have another Midday Millionaire Mastermind next Tuesday. Thanks so much for being here with us, and we'll see you on next Tuesday. Thanks again, Courtney. Bye.